So the only thing that was not on this review is which we talked about yesterday is the chart, like filling in the chart using your calculator. Make sure you know how to do that. That obviously, and then the very end of this, the area, those are the 2 calculator questions. We're good on the first page?
No, it's just not voted.
Okay. Page 2. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so we're finding the derivative, square root of t plus 5. So I want to figure out, hey. All right, so I want to rewrite that with an exponent, right? So a square root's the same thing as what kind of exponent? 1/2. And then I would take that 1/2 and I would bump it forward. I would multiply it by what's on the front. There's a 1 there. You're welcome. So it's 1/2 t plus 5. And then I subtract the 1 from the exponent. So it'd be 1/2 minus 2/2, which is negative 1/2. And then the 1/2 is a square root, and the negative moves it to the bottom. So I get 1/2 times 1 over the square root of t plus 5. And then I can just write that together. Anything else from page 2? So yesterday I told you, obviously, like as far as 85 goes, you won't have something you have to square, but if that said like x over x minus 2 plus 3, I feel like that's fair game. You have to change them to have the same denominator. So this would be over 1. I'd have to multiply both the top and the bottom here by x minus 2. I'd get x plus distribute 3x minus 6, and that gives me 4x minus 6 as my numerator. And my denominator x minus 2. And then because I'm trying to find the end behavior, or the behavior on the right-hand side of this graph, I look at the exponents to determine the horizontal asymptote. They're the same. So the horizontal asymptote this time would be 4. So I'm not going to give you something that's square that you have to like expand and FOIL. But you could see something that was just to the first power. Everybody's good on the rest of it? Yep. Okay. Last page. So your series, your summation. So the way this question will be worded, it won't say write the first 5 terms of the sequence. It will just say use the sequence to find the limit of it, or to predict the limit of it. So you're looking for your exponential rules again. We're good? I'm so excited for you. Monday's going to be so easy. Yay. All right, jump. Okay, so 96 is one that you will have a calculator on, right? It's going to be either question number 1 or number 2. It says approximate the area of the region using the indicated number of rectangles of equal width. So the first thing I would say I would figure out is the x values along that curve. It goes from 0 to 1, and there are 4 rectangles there. So this would be 1/4, this would be 1/2, this would be 3/4. Or in decimal form, 0.25, sorry, 0.5 and 0.75. And then you would want to find the value for the height. So you want to find y of everywhere the rectangle hits the curve. So I want it to be at the curve, which is here, which means I'm going to do f of 1/4. Here, which means I'm going to do f of 1/2. Here, which means I'm going to do f of 3/4, and here, which means you're going to do f of 1. And then in the calculator, I would have made this my y1. So I would have made 4 minus x squared my y1. And then you can't use the table because it's not whole numbers. This time you would have had to literally do y1 of 1/4 or 0.25, y1 of 0.5, y1 of 0.75, and y1 of 1. And these are your heights. So you got all 3 of those values, 3.9375, 3.75, 3.4375, and 3. And you can either take each of those and multiply them times 1/4, or you can add them all up, which is what we did. I added them all up, got 14.125, and then multiply that times 1/4 or 0.25. Yep. So if it goes over, like we did the example yesterday, it went over it, right? So if it goes, if it goes over it, then you would use 0 and not 1. So like if it looked like this, and it went here, This is terrible. That's not 4, but you get the point. Okay. I want it only where it touches the curve. So this would have been 0. This would have been 1/4. This would have been 1/2. And this would have been 3/4. 1 is too high. It doesn't touch the curve. So an overestimate, you use 0 and not the last one. An underestimate, you use the last one and not 0. You only want it where the corner physically touches the curve. Touches and ends at the curve. Doesn't surpass it and doesn't go under it.
So either or.
Either, correct. Yep.
You're using 3, not 95 too, right?
For 95, I would have used, this is a half, right? A half. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3.
Okay.
Yep. We good? Yes? All right, so the first one, you had to factor. If you plug in, you get 0 in the denominator, so you can't do it that way. You can't do direct substitution. You have to factor, and when you factor, the x plus 1s cancel, and then you plug in the -1, and you should have gotten -1/5. Most of you got that one right. Just be careful if you're factoring. Number 2, the exponent in the top and the bottom. The top is bigger than the bottom. No, yes, bigger. I can't even read my writing anymore. Bigger than the bottom. Which means there's no horizontal asymptote, and if there's no horizontal asymptote, the limit does not exist. Number 3, I did it both ways because I had changed it, but you could either simplify first by doing 2 times f of x and then adding g of x squared, or you could have found the limit independently by doing different substitution and then done 2 times the f of x plus the g of x squared. So if you did it the first way, before I changed it, it was 330. If you did it the second way after I changed it, it should have been 45. The number 4, you're looking at your exponents here. The exponents were both 1, which means it's the leading coefficient 1. 2/4 is 1/2. Number 5, find the derivative. The 3 bumps forward, multiplies by the 2, you get 6. Subtract the 1, it's x squared. And then when you bring this x squared to the top, it becomes x to the -2. -2 times -5 is +10. Subtract the 1, it's -3. And then that has to move back down to the bottom. 6x squared plus 10 over x to the third. And then your sum. So I they're not, I think I did 2 terms, but there are 2 questions on your summation for your test. And there will be a to the first power and there will be a to the second power and obviously the coefficient. So I separated it at the plus and minus. I bumped the 3 to the front and then the squared one is n times n plus 1 times 2n plus 1 over 6. The next one was 3 times the n formula, which is n times n plus 1 over 2. And the last one is your constant, so you just multiply the number times what's on the top of the n. You should have gotten 467,940. Again, I will give you the 4-function calculator just to help with the multiplication and the division there. But you won't have it, there's no summation button, so you got to make sure you know how to do it. And I'm giving you the formulas. They're on your answer sheet. Questions for me? So this is not everything. These 6 questions did have a lot of stuff, but it didn't have everything. You need to make sure you also do that complete PDF. If you did the PDF like you were supposed to already, I posted an extra test review if you want to wait until Sunday so it's fresh, and then that would be a good thing. I will be here Monday morning if you have questions. Remember, I have you first. So you can come in a little bit early if you've got questions. And then also because I have you first, oh no, we're on shortened. I was going to say normally A period has a little bit extra time. So I can answer a couple questions in the beginning, but we're on the same exact time. Oh no, we're in long. It's regular. So I will have time to answer a couple of questions before you take your test on Monday if you've got them. Okay. Questions?